Welcome back to the Swagger's Den. And this is a very special edition of the Swagger's Den with the legend Robert Blake, which I grew up watching his movies back in the 70s when I was a teenager going to high school. I used to watch Baretta, was one of my favorite shows back then. And I used to watch Helltown with Father HARDSTEP and Sister Maggie. If any of you ever seen Helltown with Father HARDSTEP, you will never forget it. It was a really good show. Baretta was one of those shows that made him a world famous person, a household name. And I loved Baretta. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid growing up. And here's a DVD of the best of Baretta, which I watch these religiously. They don't make movies like that anymore, or shows like that anymore, I know that. And I got to know Robert through his poetry and him through mine, and we ended up talking back and forth on the internet, and I talked to his caretaker, and she would let me know how well or good he was, or whatever. He was kind of grumpy. He was a grumpy guy, she's told me. But anyway, I have some signed things from Robert. I ended up getting one of his books. I got his book, Tales of a Rascal, What I Did for Love. And I got that. He signed that for me, and I have that book here. And I'm just looking through these photos right now, and this is Father HARDSTEP here with Sister Maggie, which is a very cool signed photo of Robert. And on the back, it says it's an NBC photo, press department. And Father HARDSTEP, Robert Blake, stars as Father HARDSTEP, and Natalie Cor as Mother Maggie is his chief adversary in the new Helltown series to be telecast on NBC Wednesday 9 to 10 p.m. starting in the fall. And that was in 85. It's quite a few years ago, but that's a press NBC photo there, right from the back lot of the show, I guess. I mean, it's pretty cool. I hope I can get it to go back up there without it falling back down. Well, anyway, I wanted to show you guys some of these photos in this book, Tales of a Rascal. I'll be showing you that in a minute. But this is that photo right here. This photo right here of Robert Blake is when he played Joe Dancer, and it's ingenuous caper. Robert Blake stars as Joe Dancer, a tough private investigator who plots an ingenious caper to retrieve a priceless jewel from a well-protected museum in The Monkey Mission, a world premiere adventure comedy on NBC Monday night at the movies March 23rd at 9 to 11 p.m. And that was in 3/6/81. These are right from NBC, and they're pretty cool. Anyway, this is his book that I got from him, and he signed it for me. It's Tales of a Rascal. What I Did for Love. It's a cool book. It's thick. It's got a lot of photos in there, and he signed it for me. And it says, "For Curtis, good luck and long life, Robert Blake." And some of these more famous photos in here, I know he hung around a lot with Natalie Wood and Marilyn Monroe. played in a movie called In Cold Blood, where he played guitar. I'll just leap through some of these photos here. He was quite the legend, let me tell you. They don't make him like Robert Blake anymore, believe me. Trying to go through some of these really cool pages in here, but it's such a thick book that it'll take me quite a while to get to the spots that I wanted to show you guys. But for the good times. And there he is with Marilyn Monroe. It's 1951 and just graduated from high school. Thank God I'm out of that shithole. Spent the last 2 years of high school on a half-day program, and I worked for my father in a construction for those 2 years. Like I said, along with God's unimaginable gifts, I had one constant job my whole life: to keep my father alive. No sunshine at MGM, Dad. And there he is with Marilyn Monroe. Very cool. And Robert said she's smart as a whip and shrewd as a fox. There's so many photos in here, guys. You gotta get this book. I'm telling you right now. And there he is, his Baretta. I can't possibly show you all these books and interviews and people that he knew in his life. It says, to Curtis, good luck and long life. Robert Blake. But if you ever watch any of his movies, guys, he's one of the best, one of the biggest legends that ever lived. There's one series that he played in, Joe Dancer, Private Detective, which is that was a good show too. But I just wanted to get this video out there of someone that I really admired growing up in school, Robert Blake. He started his career with the Little Rascals. I can't even remember what the year was he started with them, but that's when he started his career. And this is XFL fan Schweiger's Den for the legend Robert Blake non-sports collectibles episode. And I hope you guys get a hold of some of his movies and buy the movie Tales of a Rascal. You will enjoy it. Good night.